and trying to finish out the home slate with a win here today in Morgantown. With that, we say hello and thanks for joining us. Alongside the former two-time All-American and NFL linebacker Kirk Morrison, I'm Mike Monaco. Don Davenport joins us in a moment. Both these teams have not had the seasons they envisioned, but bowl eligibility still looms.
That's what you're fighting for. You guaranteed 12 opportunities, but you're trying to fight for that one more game, the postseason game, and that's what today's all about, keeping that season alive.
For Gus Malzahn and Neil Brown, that's the objective. West Virginia's got to win one. UCF has to win each of its last two. UCF won the toss, gets the football in a season where they've had a ton of upheaval at quarterback. 4 different nights have jousted for the QB1 job this year. Arkansas transfer KJ Jefferson was brought in, but Gus Malzahn told us it just wasn't working. So 17-year-old EJ Colson started. That lasted all of 13 snaps. After that, it was Miami transfer Jakari Brown. He can run, but they struggled with balance in the passing game. So Dylan Risk has ascended from 4th string to starter. UCF's the only team in the country to start 4 different quarterbacks this year. And again today, it's Dylan Risk. And he's going to the air, and it's incomplete to start. But he has brought them more balance.
Yeah, he's brought this offense more life, Mike. He's had a chance to really, to me, just go out there and go play. And when we had a chance to talk to Dylan Risk about this opportunity for him, and he just said, look, I get to go play. I get to go out there and do what I've been doing all summer long. Just had to wait for his opportunity.
Redshirt freshman from Delray Beach, Florida. Today his 3rd collegiate start. Came on 4 weeks ago in relief against BYU and has now started these last 3 in a row. RJ Harvey is his superstar running back, and he gets stacked up after just a yard. Well, Gus Malzahn's team, 4-6. They've had the ups and downs at quarterback. They've had ups and downs with their play callers as well, and they have to win these last 2 to get bowl eligible.
And these players know what it is. Coach Malzahn has talked about it. If you want to play one extra game after the regular season, you got to win today. So they know what's in front of them today here in Morgantown.
Against Jeff Koons' defense on 3rd down. 4-man rush. Risk up the sideline, too strong for Jacoby Jones. 4th down.
That's a nice way getting off the field for this West Virginia defense. Your first series and you go 3 and out, and a 3rd down incompletion by Dylan Risk. And you can see his coach right now letting him have it. This was an opportunity. They probably missed the connection there. Great protection up front, but better job defensively there by West Virginia.
Gus Malzahn barking at his redshirt freshman coming off the field. So Mitch McCarthy gets it away for a fair catch signal from Preston Fox on his senior day. Well, you saw Garrett Green, and here he comes for one final start at home. 5th-year senior from Tallahassee, redshirted as a freshman. Then he sat behind Jared Dagey and JT Daniels before becoming the starter last year. This year, a mixed bag. Last week, he came back after missing 2 games with an upper body injury, and he ran for 129, and you were here. What'd you see?
Yeah, I tell you this, it's been hot and cold. You've seen the hot Garrett Green, but you've also seen the cold Garrett Green. But when it's all working for him, Mike, he is a dynamic quarterback for this West Virginia offense.
He can run it, and so can his 2 running backs as well. And Green tries to make something out of nothing. Nigel E. Kelly runs him down.
That was an interesting snap, Mike, because Cole Taylor, the tight end, actually motioned out, and it almost seemed like it almost drew the UCF defense off sides. They continued to run the play.
And it's a new starting center to begin. Landon Livingston instead of Brandon Yates. Donaldson carries for a few, picks up 4. 3rd down for West Virginia and Neil Brown, whose team began the year just outside the top 25, and now they're 4-3 in the Big 12. But they're only 2-4 at home this season, including the 3 straight home losses. Excellent running attack, but they empty it out here on 3rd down. Green, quarterback draw, and Garrett Green finds a 1st down. We told you he did it with his legs last week in the loss to Baylor.
And he did it again right there, Mike. He recognized the blitz. The blitz came from the left side of the offense. You'll see a safety, and there was an extra linebacker, but the run was the opposite. It went to the opposite side, and Garrett Green knew where that first down marker was and got the pickup.
Now we've got a flag that flies pre-snap. Steve Barron is the referee leading this Big 12 crew.
Offside, defense, number 2, 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's on big Lee Hunter, the redshirt junior defensive tackle and one of the team leaders for UCF.
He's got to have a big game today. Lee Hunter, Ricky Barber, 2 guys that have to control the middle of this defense in pushing this offensive line of West Virginia back.
So 5 yards to midfield, and here's C.J. Donaldson up the middle. Wrapped up at the 30. Exree Alexander stopped him, but not before 21.
Yeah, because Jaquai Hubbard, number 66, Jaquai, able to get a nice little block and seal the right guard. Able to come back and just get enough of number 2, Ricky Barber, or Lee Hunter, we just talked about, for the big pickup.
Now they slip out Cole Taylor, who nearly bounced off a tackler, but Mac McWilliams knocked down the big tight end for no gain.
Huge, that's a big tackle. Mike, if Cole Taylor's able to make him miss, he's got a lot of green grass in front of him. And I think Taylor's shaking his head a little bit, knowing there was a lot more meat on that bone.
For UCF defense in its 3rd game under defensive coordinator Addison Williams, who took over for the fired Ted Roof about a month ago. All C.J. Donaldson to start, not Jaheim White, the other part of the 2-headed tandem at running back. Quarterback run again, and Green is swallowed up by Dalen Dotson. You mentioned how important the interior of the defensive line is, and Dotson comes through.
Yeah, Dalen Dotson just reading the quarterback. It's a real QB draw. You sit back, but watch Donaldson, the running back. He go right through. He's the lead blocker, but Dotson able to find enough room to go secure that tackle. That's a good job of retreating from where he was at and making a play.
The transfer from FCS UT Martin sets up 3rd down and long for West Virginia from the 32.
Showing pressure is UCF.
Donaldson off the left side, hits the crease, and Donaldson is swung down at the 1. Quadric Bullard made the stop, and they put it in the belly of C.J. Donaldson on 3rd and long.
Yeah, because Wyatt Milam, your left tackle, he's going to be playing on Sundays, folks. See the left tackle? Watch the block that he's able to get. That's the alley that Donaldson needed, and it was all created by the left tackle.
And now Donaldson up the middle for a touchdown. Excellent start for the Mountaineers at home.
That's just Donaldson. That's just his offensive line. It's senior day. You get a big feel of it, and you hand it off to C.J. Donaldson. He's not a senior, but he realizes what today is all about. The great push up front, and that's all you need. He created that opportunity with the run down there inside the 5. Handed back off to C.J. for the touchdown.
Who carried it 4 times for 57 yards on the touchdown drive for West Virginia.
It was all about C.J. Donaldson. He set it up, got it inside the 5. They say, "Are you okay?" He says, "Yes, I'm doing just fine." Back in for the end zone for a touchdown.
Told you how much turnover there's been at quarterback for UCF. What's the same with their play callers? Left column, the offensive play caller. Right column, the defensive coordinator. And since the start of last season, 3 different guys, or defensively, Addison Williams twice assuming the role of DC, in all kinds of change for Gus Malzahn, who gave up calling the plays offensively to Tim Harris, whose offense will get a second crack at it. Kirk, as a player, what does that do when you're hearing different voices?
It's different because there's different philosophies, and you try to have one heartbeat, one thought, one process, but different coaches do things a little bit differently. Maybe it's a different call on 1st down or 2nd down. It's when you start to hear that many different voices, Mike, it can be confusing because one coach expects one thing, another coach asks you to do something different. That's been why it's been an up and down season, I think, for UCF, not just offensively, but also defensively.
In this 4-win season, they do have a top 10 offense, and here's R.J. Harvey, a huge part of it. And R.J. Harvey rumbles into plus territory. Ushered out by Dantes Fagan after 28.
In a year in which there was so much confusion, there's so much chaos, all those voices you just mentioned, he's been the steady Eddie, R.J. Harvey. When things go wrong, hand it off to number 7.
Harvey again, chopped down after a yard and a half. He's tied for 3rd in the country in rushing yards, entering today with more than 1,300 to go along with 19 touchdowns for the 6th-year senior who is a big-time draft prospect.
He's going to be playing on Sunday, so remember that name, R.J. Harvey. He will be playing for a team near you, so just remember that. But he's a guy with, I think, Mike, the durability is something that just sticks out to me because he's always available for his football team.
Only 1 carry on the first drive, a couple to start here, and now they spin it out to the tight end, Randy Pittman, who lunges forward with a 1st down. So you can open things up in the passing game because of Harvey. And look at the company he's in with Ashton Genty, Heisman candidate, and Omarion Hampton, the star for North Carolina. Risk pulled it, and he gets to the edge. And Dylan Risk gets buried by Garnett Hollis, but he's got enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, but he's still down on the ground. He felt that one. And that's the one thing, when you take those types of risk, no pun intended, this is what happens. You're not in high school football anymore. You've got to be able to get down, protect yourself, and get out of bounds. And this is where he made himself, to me, a runner. And when you're a runner, you have to protect yourself and get out of bounds. That's an unnecessary hit, Mike, there by Dylan Risk.
Again, one of 4 different starting quarterbacks for UCF. We do expect to see Jakari Brown, who's been in a red zone only running role recently. On the ground, Miles Montgomery, the Cincinnati transfer, chopped down after 4.
Good to see Tyron Bradley. He's a Spur player, number 8 for West Virginia. Good to see him out there making some plays. Had a big return a couple weeks ago, a little fumble return. But he's a guy along that front is going to have to be huge today in keeping a spy, not only on Dylan Risk, that if Risk doesn't have the ball, being able to make that chase down tackle like he just did on Montgomery on that last play.
For a defense that got gashed last week by Baylor. Risk fumbles! Fagan falls on it. West Virginia's got the takeaway.
All this is just the quarterback, Dylan Risk, and Montgomery. Miles Montgomery, there's a mishandling of the football. It's bouncing around. Nothing that Fagan could do but just try to pick it up. He tried to scoop and score, couldn't get it down on bended knee.
ESPN College Football is brought to you by McDonald's.
Senior day in Morgantown, and how about these images? Garrett Green, Anthony Wilson, what they looked like when they were young, TJ Jackson, and then here, your senior day. What do you remember about your senior day, Kurt?
You know what? I remember my parents being there, seeing my mom, dad so happy, and running out on that field one last time with my teammates. It really catches up with you after the game, because before the game, you're in the moment, but you always remember the last time you're able to put that uniform on the home field.
The emotions are a huge part of it, especially for a guy like Garrett Green, who hands it off to C.J. Donaldson right up the middle for a yard and a half.
Yeah, Mike, Neil Brown admitted that he worried about those emotions with senior day for his quarterback because Garrett Green's pretty emotional in a normal game. So he took time to address that with him to help him live those emotions during the week so that he could handle today better. Talked to Garrett before the game. He said, I'll deal with those emotions afterwards. But Coach Brown did say it was imperative that they got him into a rhythm early so that he could ease into what could be an emotional day. And so far, they've done that, guys.
Don, they sure have. And it helps when you're handing the ball to C.J. Donaldson, already feeding him about as much as he got the entirety of last week.
Yeah, it's all about matchups. This is a great matchup for this offense, the way they run the football against this front of UCF.
Jaheim White is now checked in. And Green flushed, directing. Green fires at the feet of Hudson Clement.
Wow, Green took a shot too. This was one of those plays where Green is trying to make something happen, Mike. And the belief in his arm and making a play, the playability, but watch the hit at the end of this one. That's one that Green, you almost say, just kind of run and throw that one away. Nice hit by Exree Alexander.
Sophomore will linebacker, the transfer from FCS Idaho. And again, Garrett Green has been hurt in 2 of the last 4 games that he's played in. And again, just came back last week after missing 2 with an upper body injury. From the 48, Green up the middle. Carries into plus territory. It will set up 3rd down and manageable.
Yeah, here's the money down. The money down for West Virginia is Green. If it's not there initially, taking off and running. So I'm looking to see, what does Addison Williams, what does his defense do? They've already had Green pick up a 3rd down in the previous series with his legs. Now, do they bring pressure again and put, I think, Garrett Green in a situation again of just having to hold on to the football?
And again, they also ran it on 3rd down and 12 when maybe they were in 4-down territory on their first drive. And in plus territory here, maybe 2 downs to work with. They need 4. Jaheim White with a cut. Jaheim White's got enough for a 1st down, and you love his bag.
Yeah, his bag of tricks, man. He's got all the moves. That should have been a tackle for less, but watch 24, Exree Alexander. He's got shook right there in the middle of the play. So 24 can't bring you down right near the line of scrimmage. That's what happens. Jaheim White able to create the 1st down with his opportunity of making guys miss.
Sophomore from York, Pennsylvania. Garrett Green was telling us he's probably the best athlete on the entire team. Low snap, and Green off the left side. Stretches it back to the right. And Garrett Green slides down at the 35. Managed to get 5 yards out of that, and snapping concerns flaring up again on West Virginia.
Yeah, but I wanted the block on Justin Robinson, number 2, or blind Justin Robinson. I thought that may have been a crackback block. This is something that's outlawed in college football. Surprised that they didn't make that call on the field, the officials.
Now Green probing, bouncing and stiff arming. And Garrett Green's got a 1st down. Quadrant Bullard pushed him out. The stiff arm from Green turns it into a 1st down.
Is this senior day? Is this senior day, Mike? Feels like senior day, right? The way that Garrett Green is playing, making things happen. Seems like there is a flag on the field right there around the 30-yard line.
A late flag came in, and they're saying that it's 3rd down. It did appear that Garrett Green got enough for the 1st down, but for now they're saying it's 3rd down, and then we've got to check the late flag that came in as well.
Sideline warning on the West Virginia bench. There's no yardage associated with this. This is a warning only.
Now, were they a little upset that a possible face mask could have been called and they're on the sideline? Because it was a late call, and that Neil Brown, you kind of see him patting the chest a little bit. I'll watch Garrett Green and say, was there a missed call of some sort?
I mean, he goes hands to the face on his stiff arm. Certainly didn't look like he got the face mask. And now we will have a look at the spot as well. So we will unpack it all, we promise, when we come back to Morgantown. Coming up tonight on ABC at 7:30 Eastern, number 7 Alabama is in Norman to face off with Oklahoma, and still so much uncertainty in the SEC and who's going to get to the conference championship game.
Still a little uncertainty with the Heisman a little bit too. Jalen Milroe still trying to put his name down in the Downtown Athletic Club as well. But look at all these teams that have a chance in the SEC to make it to the championship game. Ole Miss, stunning loss today to Florida, though.
In the swamp. They gave a 1st down upon review to Garrett Green, and now Green operates, escapes. Green fires and just gets rid of it in the direction of Justin Robinson.
Well, he missed Justin Robinson. It was a wide open touchdown. Justin Robinson is back there waving his hand the entire play. He was wide open, and Garrett Green just didn't have the time to throw. That would have been a for sure touchdown.
And that's part of the decision-making process for Garrett Green. They said they loved what he did with his legs last week, but still sometimes deciding whether to run or whether to throw. Those were some of the issues for Green in the loss to Baylor.
Yeah, he's just got to believe that one and just throw it up.
Jaheim White off the left side, foot in the ground to the 22. Third and short on the pickup.
Yeah, I just want to go back to that last play just to show you how open Justin Robinson is. He's at the top of the screen, and just watch him. He's just going to flow, and he's wide open. Look, he's just waiting. Throw it, throw it, throw it.
Right there.
And Eric Green's just like, he's waiting. He just doesn't throw it, doesn't pull the trigger.
They need Robinson to step up with no Traylon Ray, who suffered a broken ankle here last week. Third down and 2, 12 personnel with 2 tight ends for West Virginia. 238-pound C.J. Donaldson right up the middle for a first down.
I like the way that C.J. Donaldson has approached this game. Now, this is still the first quarter, but he's kind of imposing his will a little bit, Mike. The way that he's running with force, a physicality that right now the UCF defensively, they haven't stood up to the challenge of what C.J. Donaldson has been doing.
And I think the coaches just said, CJ, you got to stay in.
I was saying the same thing. Like, he's going back into the game because he's got the hot hand so far. Hard to take him out of the game.
It's already his best game since week 6 in Stillwater at Oklahoma State.
UCF now putting 5 men on the line.
Pre-snap movement, and a flag flies.
And we've seen multiple plays where UCF defenders have jumped off sides. And I don't know if it's because of the quarterback cadence, the way that he's clapping, but I think that's something that Gus Malzahn is trying to figure out as well.
Offside, defense number 32 entered the neutral zone, causing a reaction by the offensive player. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So they're saying that Ethan Barr, really Dalen Dotson, jumped off, but you're wondering if it goes to the quarterback first, and something you picked up on the first drive for West Virginia.
Yeah, it's been happening all first quarter that UCF defenders keep jumping, and it's more because maybe it's a movement by the quarterback that is getting them into the neutral zone.
So first down and 5, and it's a give to Donaldson. Breaks away from Barr, and Donaldson has a first down to the 4. And so the letter of the law on that, Kirk, this was a point of emphasis going into last year. Special attention on quarterbacks with the pre-snap action.
Yeah, because right now, Garrett Green and West Virginia is using it to their advantage.
Donaldson stacked up. Exree Alexander the stop for the Knights.
And the Knights kind of got to bow their neck early on, because the way that this game is starting for West Virginia, they're the more physical team.
Officials timeout
and almost
for an
feels
injured
like
offensive player.
A touchdown could definitely turn this game the opposite direction, as C.J. Donaldson is the one that's on the ground.
After his carry off the left side. Junior from Miami, off to a great start in this first quarter. Well, this week's college football playoff rankings are brought to you by Goodyear, and this is this week's projected bracket based on the current rankings. And again, obviously everything's going to change after that Ole Miss loss.
Yeah, a lot can change, but I think Boise State at number 4 is what really sent shockwaves throughout the college football world, as there could be a team from the Big 12 that could not be one of those top 4 highest ranked conference champions. So it's going to be interesting how this thing plays out over the next couple of weeks. But Miami's already in the clubhouse with another victory today, as they've got a huge game next week at Syracuse.
Handled Wake Forest earlier today. Well, it's good to see C.J. Donaldson up to his feet and walking off, a guy who has battled injuries throughout his career.
And here's the last play that kind of shook him up a little bit. I mean, he's been running with authority, and maybe have ran on the back of one of his own players, but he's brought a physicality to this game, and I'm still waiting for UCF to match the intensity that he's brought, Mike.
2 years ago, he had a broken ankle. Last year, dealt with a shoulder injury. Has said this year, my body is my business, and he's done a good job staying healthy. All right, so second down and goal. Traylon Davis is the fullback for Jaheim White. Play fake. Davis drops it. was looking for his first career touchdown in year 4.
And he missed it. Wide open. It's one of those where the ball is like, it's going to take forever to come down. And actually, he went up with 2 hands where maybe he could let the ball almost fall into his arms. I mean, that was a perfect throw from Garrett Green and a missed opportunity for one sweet day for Traylon Davis.
Guy who does so much of the dirty work here out of Jackson, Ohio. Redshirt juniors had a good season. Couldn't haul it in, and now it's 3rd down and goal. So it's on the ground. It's Jaheim White for a touchdown. What a start for West Virginia.
And that's the way this drive has been. Up and down, and you go from a 3rd down to a 3rd down or a scoring play that makes you go, all on the ground. Traylon Davis misses one, but yet able to come back is Jaheim White. Donaldson and White, they are the guys right now making things happen for West Virginia offensively.
And so C.J. Donaldson goes down. Traylon Davis the miss. Jaheim White picks them both up. Hey, this season, All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State.
Man. And it's some domination in this first quarter. All ground game for West Virginia. And on the opposite side, UCF defensively cannot stop anybody, and offensively has been mistakes. Dylan Risk, you mentioned in his 3rd start, mishandling of the football. That was a point off of a turnover. So we haven't seen this offense of UCF get anything going. And if you're going to do that, this is going to turn into what I call 9-on-7. That means running the football, backyard football here. This ain't the backyard brawl, but they turn it into one.
So big hole for R.J. Harvey and UCF. And again, got to win both these games to get bowl eligible. Mike Hayes, 6th-year senior on his senior day for another touchback. Well, a lot going on in the Big 12, including Colorado at Kansas, who has played a lot better recently against number 16 Colorado. One of the great running backs in this conference, Devin Neal, starts the scoring.
Yeah, starts the scoring. This game's over at Arrowhead, by the way, home of the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Kansas Jayhawks with big wins over the last couple weeks. They're on the board first. They've added a field goal now. It's 10-0 Kansas over the Buffaloes.
And Colorado, boy, controls its own destiny, but in trouble with a loss, obviously. 3rd possession for UCF, and it's R.J. Harvey met by Ben Cutter. Just a yard.
They're going to have to find some offense outside of R.J. Harvey, because R.J. has been that guy all season long, but someone else has to step up. Maybe it's Kobe Hudson. Maybe it's one of these receivers. We saw a completion earlier to Randy Pittman. Dylan Riss is going to have to make some plays right now with his arm. You just can't rely on handing it off to R.J. Harvey.
Who comes out here, and Jitterbug Johnny Richardson comes in and gets the call. And Richardson with not much doing off the left side. Trey Lathan the stop, and what does Tim Harris turn to? He kept preaching to us yesterday that there's more balance with Risk at quarterback, but right now, nothing has worked through the air.
Right, but the balance comes in winning 1st and 2nd down. If you don't get the yards needed on 1st and 2nd down, you now put the young redshirt freshman quarterback into 3rd and long. That's 7+. Can Dylan Risk stand in the pocket and make the right throw? He didn't in the first drive. It was a 3-and-out. Had an earful from his head coach. Right here on 3rd and 7, I watch pressure from West Virginia.
They bring 4. Risk, sideline, and a diving catch by Jacoby Jones for a 1st down.
Nice throw, young man, nice throw. You love the ball placement on that one, Mike. It was to the outside, past the marker. It all starts with the route, though. The route by Jones, he got to the marker, got outside, got the catch, 1st down.
And now it's Harvey up the middle into the arms of Trey Lathan for no gain. Yeah, so that was positive from Risk to Jones, and that's been a hookup these last few weeks that has been used a lot, especially on third down.
That's growth. And the growth that you need.
We hit the end of the first quarter in Morgantown with West Virginia up by 14. Senior day at Milan Puskar Stadium. C.J. Donaldson and the defense got it started, and the lead is 14.
Well, Coach Malzahn, what do you point out to your offense in this quarter?
Well, we fumbled the ball down there. We had a good drive. We got to protect the football, make better decisions. Defensively, we got to stop the run. You know, it's not about the pass. It's stopping the run. We got to do a better job in that.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Don. Yeah, the fumble was costly from Dylan Risk, who operates on second now to begin the second quarter, running for his life, and he just gets rid of it to bring up third down and long.
Yeah, he takes another shot at the end of that one, too. He's been taking a couple of hits early on for the young quarterback. He's shaking it off, but I see growth. We saw it on that third down conversion, and on that last one, just throwing the ball away, getting to the next down. But the reward is 3rd and 10 for Dylan Risk.
Quarterback who has gone from 4th string to QB1. Gus Malzahn said he was inexperienced in the fall, little jittery in scrimmages. Now leading the offense. Third down, Risk across the middle, incomplete. Intended for Kobe Hudson with Anthony Wilson in coverage, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, there's just nowhere to go with that football, Mike. It's a nice job there by Wilson knocking it down. 3rd and 10, it's always difficult. You're trying to find someone. Those routes are going to happen a lot farther down the field than you would expect, but Wilson, he knew where the marker was and was there to knock it away. That's a nice job defensively by Anthony Wilson.
And 2 for 6 through the air for UCF. Preston Fox, the Morgantown native, former walk-on, signals for the fair catch at the 17. We'll kick off your NFL weekend with the Sunday NFL Countdown crew at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and the app. And our Monday Night Football matchup features the Ravens and the Chargers. Harbaugh's everywhere. 8 Eastern over on ESPN and Deportes. Peyton and Eli once again on E2.
Oh, man. Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Monday night. That's going to be special. And the Harbaugh Bowl. The brothers Harbaugh, John and Jim. Remember the last time was that Super Bowl 47. I was there in New Orleans. It was a great halftime show, by the way. Beyonce brought the lights down. Remember they had a blackout. The game was delayed for about 40 minutes.
That is your type of halftime show. On the ground for West Virginia. Jaheim White for 1. West Virginia trying to get eligible here on senior day. They've had the disappointment, the ups and downs this season, and a lot of those here at home, but this has been an excellent start.
Yeah, this is a start what they wanted to. This is what they wanted all season long, Mike. They wanted to be able to run the football, but have Garrett Green in those 3rd and short, 3rd and medium situations to where he can throw it or run it with his legs. Right now, they've been winning 1st down and 2nd down. Haven't really had too many 3rd downs.
White stumbles, and it's 3rd down and long. By the way, Brandon Yates has now checked in at center. 6th-year senior who's been the starter all season. Had struggled with snapping earlier this year, but it had been better the last 2 games. Yet today, Landon Livingston, the redshirt sophomore, got the start, but now Yates enters.
Scanning the defense a little bit. They adjust the play, bringing the running back in. Looks like zone from UCF.
Which brings 4. Green had it stripped. White picks it up and gets dropped inside the 5. Malachi Lawrence came around the edge and pried it free.
That's a nice job by Malachi. He's on the opposite side. He's all the way right here. Watch how he just comes and runs the hoop. That's a nice job by him beating the right tackle. Watch how he just swats that away and was able to knock that football out of Green's hands. That's a nice job, but unfortunately they couldn't recover it, and now you got a punting situation.
And you see the brace on the right arm. He might have re-aggravated that as well as he came around the edge.
Yeah, you could tell he was hurt about something, but a nice rush And maybe that may be the play that could spark this football team.
Ollie Straw gets it away out of his own end zone. And UCF will have great starting field position right around the 40. Early on in the second, Knights get the football back down 14. Our College Football Awards Spotlight, brought to you by the Home Depot, features R.J. Harvey, Doak Walker Awards semifinalist. And remember, tune in for the Home Depot College Football Awards Show December 12th at 9 p.m. on ESPN. And R.J. Harvey, Tim Harrison to us, is as good as any running back in the country.
Yeah, he's made himself. He'll be at the award show. One of the top backs in all of college football.
Gets the carry, and Harvey with a cut. Into plus territory. R.J. Harvey takes it inside the 40.
I mean, what more can you say about R.J. Harvey? He is what keeps this offense running, what keeps this offense going. I just want you to imagine this offense without R.J. Harvey, and I don't know if they're able to push the ball down the field at all. He knows he's going to get 8, 9, 10-man boxes, but his patience at the line of scrimmage and the acceleration for the big game.
Jakari Brown has come in at quarterback. A run threat. Gives it instead to Harvey. Finds a lane off the right side. Harvey's contact balance is so good. Into the red zone with 25.
I keep talking about the durability, the patience, the vision. Watch the vision on the play. There's nothing there, and guess what? He goes through the back door. Hello. Gets all the way to the outside, able to absorb contact, maintain his feet, and get out of bounds. That's high-level running backing.
He checks out with Brown still in. Richard, sophomore Miami transfer who has started a couple of games earlier this season, preceding Dylan Risk taking over. Montgomery is wrapped up by Josiah Trotter after a few.
Just think about one play, Mike. That forced fumble by Malachi Lawrence defensively for UCF. Now the next drive, you see they got a little more bounce, a little more pep to the step. R.J. Harvey gets a couple of little runs, and now you feel the momentum of the game start to shift a little bit. Now UCF feels like they're on the attack, where before it looks like they were absorbing and not playing to the level that West Virginia started this game.
And now Risk watches with Brown in for a third straight snap. He keeps it and ducks down right at the line of scrimmage, and it brings up third down.
I thought that may have been one he should have handed off. I thought he had numbers if he did hand that football off up top, but they were all over it. And when he's in the game, Mike, a lot of players, they're going to make sure that they're going to keep their eyes on Jakari Brown.
He comes out, Risk returns for third down and 7 in Morgantown. Risk swings it. Montgomery gets to the outside and finishes a run short of the sticks. Fourth down, is this an obvious go for UCF?
No, this is an obvious go, but that was a beautiful third down play because Dylan Risk went through his progressions. Remember, this is only his third college football start, and to see him scan the defense, go from progression 1 to 2, then get the ball in, and this is a big fourth down and 3. You've got to go for it. I wouldn't mind taking a timeout here. I know the play clock is going down, but I would love to call a timeout, get him in the right play. It's a big play right here early in the game.
With Brown in for Risk on fourth down, it's Brown the keep, the spin, and Brown's got enough for a first down. Helmet came off, so he's gonna have to come out, but he gets the conversion as they put him in for Risk on fourth down.
Nice job by Adrian Metley, 76. See, he's the one that's holding off just a little bit. He's the left guard, but his pull around is what created the lane. But Brown, willing and understanding where he needed to get to, he got all 3 of those yards for the first down.
Jakari Brown playing his role to perfection on that carry on fourth down. R.J. Harvey's in the Wildcat. Richardson in motion. It's Harvey, hopping, bouncing, touchdown! Harvey is a man possessed.
I mean, Tyron Bradley's got him, number 8. He's got him. He's held on to him, and guess what? Harvey bounces right off of it and bounces his way into the end zone. I know they play at the Bounce House over in Central Florida down there in Orlando, but he's brought the Bounce House to Morgantown. Woo.
Just when UCF needed something, Malachi Lawrence gets the strip, and then R.J. Harvey pays it off.
Yeah, it's about Lawrence knocking it out. Then you get all the way down on the offensive side. Harvey bouncing his way into the end zone.
Superstar like R.J. Harvey, you hear from your fans, the young fans, this season of R.J. Harvey. How about on the left, Hannah, who claims she's his biggest fan? Maybe one day you can play in the NFL if you want to, of course. And she says, don't tell any of the other players, you're my favorite. And then Caroline, please don't get hurt in any of your games this season.
Love the fans, especially those, and those are the ones that came with friendship bracelets as well. So, you know, I'm part-time Swiftie.
Oh yeah?
And my daughter's, you know, she's all part of the Eras tour and following that. So they get the little wristbands, I mean, the little bracelets that they can wear. But R.J. Harvey, man, that's awesome to see for him. And actually, to respond and keep those letters as well.
Not a full-time Swiftie.
No,
more on that in the second half. Preston Fox finds a lane and gets chopped down on the return by the kickoff man, Evan Morris, near midfield. Well, let's take a look around the CFP landscape as we count down to the CFP National Championship, brought to you by AT&T and In the Desert, Cam Scattaboo. Back last week, he's got 2 tuts already in a top 25 showdown with BYU.
And right now, it's Arizona State doing what they've done all season long. Remember, this team was picked last to finish in the Big 12, and right now they're primed to, if they continue to win out, they could be playing in the conference championship game.
What a job by Kenny Dillingham in year 2. All right, so great field position for West Virginia, up by 7 with the football. And C.J. Donaldson, good to see him in the football game. Back to the line of scrimmage, into the arms of Deshaun Pace. What do you make of the Big 12, with including today 2 weeks to go?
Well, look, Colorado has the best chance, but right now they're in a fight with Kansas. BYU seems to be running out of luck a little bit down the stretch, but Arizona State, Iowa State, they're still right there in it. BYU may find a way, but I love Arizona State's chances right now. It could be Arizona State, Colorado. There's a lot to kind of mill over the next couple of weeks to see which team can get to that conference championship game.
BYU, Arizona State going on right now on ESPN. Screen for Preston Fox. Knocked down at the 49, sets up 3rd down and medium.
I love the tackling by Mac Williams, though. Mac McWilliams, number 20, he's been all over the place today. He's playing a little bit of corner. He's playing a little bit of safety for UCF. No Braden Marshall, no Antoine Jackson, so they're a little thin already in the secondary. So McWilliams having to play all over. It's a big 3rd down. See where he lines up at on this one.
He's on the perimeter, bottom of your screen, matched up before the motion with C.J. Donaldson and now Fox. Quarterback draw, and Green gets popped by Nigel Kelly after just 2, and it's 4th down, and Neil Brown's very aggressive with 4th downs offensively.
Nice job by Nigel Kelly. He went down with the offensive lineman, but realized, wait, the quarterback still's got the football, and they come back and makes a hit. And that play by Nigel Kelly, that's a turnover. I call it a turnover because it's forcing the punt team from West Virginia to go out there on the field. That's a nice tackle and puts the punt team out there for West Virginia.
Interesting. 4th down and 3. They send out the punt unit. They're tied for 3rd in the country in 4th down conversions this year from the +48. Ollie Straw gets it away toward Mac McWilliams. A fair catch outside the 5. UCF has life after trailing by 14 They've got the football down by monster, and more of that today.
Oh, he's been doing a little bit of everything, Mike. You can see the acceleration that he has through the hole. He's showing the vision of finding something that just isn't there at times. But the durability, the balance, he's also got that. And then when you think you've got him, he gets out of that and finds a way into the end zone. R.J. Harvey in his bag today.
He is human, though. He's going to get flagged for a false start here after he got a little
False
antsy.
start. Offense, number 7. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
You think he was probably getting the ball?
I'm ready to work.
Yeah, he's ready to go to work. He's been putting on a show so far. He's been the offense for UCF, especially on that last drive. 3 carries, 48 yards. And now they may start it off with him again on this drive.
Lots of false starts for UCF. They had 5 in their last game before the bye at Arizona State. Gus Malzahn said that was a joke. He was disgusted with it. It is Harvey. Up the middle and nothing doing. Reed Carrico in on the stop.
I wish you guys could hear the way every single one of his teammates described him to me, because it makes you realize how really special Harvey is. First one in the building, last one to leave. Every player told me he's earned everything he's gotten. He's wired differently when it comes to work ethic. Wideout Kobe Hudson, guys, he lives with him. He said his journey hadn't been easy. Injuries, position changes, but he has never let any adversity affect that work ethic.
Yeah, it's really something. Not good to see there that he limps off to the sideline. So Dylan Risk is going to the air, taking a deep shot for Hudson downfield, and a flag flies. Garnett Hollis was in coverage, and Kobe Hudson knows who he thinks it's on.
Yeah, because the ball's a little underthrown. So when you get those underthrown footballs, you got Hudson who's trying to come back for the football, and out of phase was Hollis Jr. So it'd be interesting what the call is.
Interference. Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, my initial look, I thought it was just a good football play because the ball was underthrown, but I think the right hand that's on the jersey of Hudson is right where the official is at. So the official who throws the flag is looking at the right hand on the back of the jersey of Kobe Hudson, and I think that's where the flag was thrown.
He made an attempt to come back to the football, and Hollis didn't really get his head around fully. First penalty on West Virginia today. And on the ground, Miles Montgomery bounces it, gets the corner. And Miles Montgomery goes out right near the marker.
That's a big penalty, right? You get the penalty, then a big run on the next first down, and now you're out of the shadows of your own end zone.
And Mark Montgomery a yard and a half shy. Spelling R.J. Harvey for now. Coming up on 5 minutes to go until halftime. Montgomery has enough for a first down. Tyron Bradley the stop. And UCF now is in motion. And you said they had to find a rhythm. They have.
Yeah, they found the rhythm. And once you find the rhythm, which has been running the football, you just want to get the passing game going. But the running game has been working for you with Harvey. Now let's see if they can continue it with Montgomery.
And good to see R.J. Harvey is able to check back in for Miles Montgomery. Flea flicker, dangerous. Risk just gets rid of it. Nobody in the vicinity.
So this will be an interesting conversation right here because T.J. Jackson blew that play up. But remember, that was a handoff that went back. But remember, he's still in the pocket.
Now, this is interesting. There is automatically intentional grounding on this. Because it was a flea flicker, they relinquished control.
Correct.
Offensively. So the same rules of an intentional grounding do not apply no matter what. This is intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 10. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Loss of down. Second down.
You can't just throw it away. Someone has to be in the vicinity. It doesn't matter if it's back to the line of scrimmage. On a flea flicker or wide receiver pass, it's about relinquishing possession to another player, and the quarterback really has no options there.
Yeah, and Dylan Risk just trying to get rid of that ball. Remember, third career start. He's just trying to throw the ball away. That's where the penalty comes in.
Loss of 11. Screen. Harvey breaks the tackle. R.J. Harvey gets a lot of the penalty yardage back. Picks up 11, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, it's Harvey showing up his reception skills. You're behind the chains. Not too many calls of 2nd and 21, yet he was able to pick up 11, like you mentioned, giving UCF an opportunity here on 3rd down. And the quick snap.
Pressure comes. Risk. Dances. Directs. Risk. Fires. Nearly intercepted by Tyron Bradley. 4th down.
Yeah, there was nothing there. And Risk is trying to make something happen, but that's just good defense there by West Virginia. They were able to flush him out of the pocket. He had to roll right. You wanted to see him almost try to take a shot deep down the field, but there was nothing there, and almost a throwaway for Dylan Risk.
And some fierce-looking mutterings from Gus Malzahn on that UCF sideline. Mitch McCarthy comes out again, the mid-20s punter from Australia, ready to get it to Preston Fox, who played center field in high school baseball, says that's really helped him as a punt returner. Just a fair catch here at the 28-yard line. Hey, Tuesday at a special time, mark your calendars, Kirk.
Yes.
8 Eastern, ESPN and the app. It's the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings with Reese and the guys.
I've got my calendar marked. I'll be ready to go.
Special time.
Special time.
8 o'clock.
And I'll see what the outrage will be, because there's going to be a shakeup at some point. Ohio State taking care of Indiana, so where does that put the Buckeyes at? So you got a lot of conversation over the next couple days, the way this college football Saturday is playing out.
Here in Morgantown, a 5th drive for West Virginia, and Green zips it complete to Hudson Clement. It's a 1st down to the redshirt sophomore, former walk-on, who they want more of without Traylon Red.
Yeah, but the old sprinkler system, right? Sprinkler head for Garrett Green. He started one way and just went all the way around, all the way, and he found the reception that he was looking for, going all the way through his progression.
White dropped in the backfield by Big Lee Hunter for a loss of 1.
Barber and Hunter. That's what Coach Addison Williams talked about. 2 guys who had to have a big day for them defensively. Ricky Barber and Lee Hunter. 2 guys. Barber goes 295. Big Lee Hunter goes 320. They've got to be able to plug up. They've got to be able to make sure that these linebackers for UCF are able to scrape down to the football. Pace and Barr, when Barber and Hunter are playing well, make a ton of tackles.
Saw the high energy Addison Williams, who last year was the defensive coordinator, then demoted after last season. Green escapes, pats it, zips it along the sideline, and let's see. They say he's out of bounds, and so incomplete to Clement. 3rd down. Addison Williams was telling us last night he was caught off guard when Gus Malzahn made the move. Gus called him in. He said, "Are you ready to take back over?" And Addison Williams said, "I prepared all season as if I still was the defensive coordinator in the office between 4:30 a.m. and 5 a.m."
This defense showing pressure right now. Both linebackers in that A-gap, the A-gap mug.
Bring pressure. Green, seam, Clement the catch. And a 1st down to the 35.
Oh, what a throw. What a throw. It's a big throw because you know you're going to get hit. The protection has to hold up for just a second. And Garrett Green, knowing he's going to get hit, delivers a strike to Hudson Clement for the 1st down. It's a nice job by the quarterback, knowing he's going to take a shot.
And you said pressure appeared to be coming as well. West Virginia picked it up.
That's a 2-minute
Clement
timeout.
goes for 26. Down the seam, working on Chasen Johnson.
You know the blitz is coming, so that ball's got to come out hot, come out quick. Ball placement from Garrett Green for the 1st down.
Browns West Virginia team 5-5, 4-3 in the Big 12. And you asked him last night for one word to describe this season. Inconsistent.
Yeah, inconsistent. It's been a lot of highs, a lot of lows. A very tough, challenging schedule. And his team right now trying to be consistent in this football game.
Flea flickers all over the place, and Garrett Green fires complete. Hudson Clement into the red zone for West Virginia with 15.
All right, so look, you can do it, but we can do it better, right? This is what West Virginia is saying, because the opposite, the UCF offense in a flea picker, they couldn't complete it, but yet Garrett Green and the West Virginia offense able to find Hudson Clement right behind the linebackers for the first down pickup.
And Clement really has stepped up. He's the team leader in receiving yards. And again, Traylon Ray suffered that broken ankle here last week. Clement's got 52 of the 57 Mountaineer passing yards. Screen, Rodney Gallagher gets involved. There's a flag down right near the line of scrimmage. Might be holding on Hudson Clement on the perimeter.
No, they get an offsides penalty as well, so you may get, yeah, they're going to call the offsides first on the defense.
Offside. Defense number 3 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And Deshaun Pace came off. He got there. I didn't know if they were going to call it. He's going to be right up top. And they just right in the neutral zone.
Yep. Boy, it's a lot of pre-snap penalties offensively and then defensively jumping for UCF.
That's all it is. Stay on side.
Green keeps and finds a few yards up the middle. Approaching the final minute until halftime with all 3 timeouts at the disposal of Neil Brown. And West Virginia will get the second half kickoff.
Also, UCF has 3 timeouts as well. I'm surprised that they're not using their timeouts.
Rodney Gallagher crashes down right at the line of scrimmage. Lee Hunter lands on top of him, and yes, a timeout taken. They're going to grant it to Neil Brown.
Okay.
So first one used by West Virginia ahead of 3rd down with 43 seconds to go. Well, let's get our Fansville College football update brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Down by 17, and guess who for Colorado?
Travis Hunter, or Travis Hunter Heisman, as they call him in Colorado. He gets the Buffs on the board, but a field goal added by the Jayhawks right now, 20-7 Jayhawks.
You said it. Heisman, who's your vote if you had to do it right now at 4:52 p.m. Eastern?
I'm seeing from Travis Hunter, this is a generational talent in the college football level. I love what Ashton Genty's doing, an unbelievable season. But there's only been one other player to play like Travis Hunter, and that was the great Charles Woodson, one of my teammates in the National Football League. He's doing it better than Charles Woodson, Travis Hunter. This is a full-time offensive and defensive player. Charles Woodson was part-time offense. Hunter is full-time on both sides of the football.
Kirk, where does he play in the NFL?
Woo! That's going to be the million-dollar question. I still think you've got to use him both. He's going to be a player that I think will be a full-time defensive back with capabilities of putting him in offensively throughout a game.
Well, 3rd down and 3 for West Virginia from inside the 15. C.J. Donaldson dragging Kelly toward the 10. Gonna be close, but appears to be just short of a first down.
Yeah, I think he's about a football length short, Mike, the way that head linesman over there on the far side comes in. So now a timeout also stops the clock. This is a big decision right here for Neil Brown, because you mentioned they do get the football to start the second half. So do you go for it here? You get a first down, you keep the ball, but also keep it away from UCF. So big decision right here, as I believe that this is a 4th down.
Well, there's a lot of confusion on the field right now. Neil Brown came out all the way to the numbers. It looked like that he was ready to call a timeout, and now the officials are going to come together and conference about it. Gus Malzahn is standing at the numbers on the far sideline looking for an explanation as well.
And it looks like right now Neil Brown's going to keep his offense on the field.
A defensive player's helmet came off during the play, which would require a 10-second runoff. West Virginia has declined the 10-second runoff. The clock will start on the snap.
So first things first, you're good with going for it here?
I'm totally good with going for it. I understand why you go for
Central
it.
Florida has called their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
I think it's the right move as well.
Yeah.
You get the football. You were conservative earlier.
Correct.
On a 4th down and 3 on your last drive. 4th and 1, you have 2 timeouts to work with because Gus Malzahn takes one here. You can do whatever you want here in the final minute before halftime.
But I think also, too, it's about who gets the ball to start the second half. It's West Virginia. So you know you've got to guarantee possession to start the second half. Why not give yourself an extra opportunity to not only keep the UCF offense on the sideline, but give you an opportunity to score a touchdown going in and then maybe get one coming out of the break as well.
So where do you go with the football? That's the next question.
Garrett Green. I think he keeps the football. I think you'll see a little read option here, a little fake, a lot of shifts and motions, but at the end of the day, I think the ball stays in number 6's hand.
Fourth down and 1. Donaldson, the running back. 3 tight ends, Green under center. It's Donaldson plunging ahead, and Donaldson looks like he's got enough. It's a first down, and Neil Brown will take his second timeout with 34 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I was all about Garrett Green holding or keeping that football in his hands. But you mentioned right before the play what you saw. Same thing I saw.
West Virginia has called their second charge timeout.
Garrett Green
Full
under
timeout.
center. When you go under center, 2 plays in that 4th and short. He's either going to quarterback sneak it or he's going to turn around and hand it off to C.J. Donaldson. Only 2 plays really in that scenario, and they went with play number 2 with the hot hand in his first half, which has been C.J. Donaldson,
who has carried it a dozen times for 88 yards and a touchdown. Best game in a long while, and already the 2nd best rushing performance for him this season, and he's been the bell cow ahead of Jaheim White.
Yeah, you know, having these 2 backs throughout the season, this is our 4th time having West Virginia. They're very comparable to each other, but Donaldson is more of the downhill guy, Jaheim White more explosive. But you can see that early on, this became a downhill game in between the tackles, and that's where C.J. Donaldson is at his best. But you're able to have 2 outstanding running backs to kind of divvy up the carries. Today's just Donaldson's day.
A couple years ago, C.J. Donaldson was in his first week on campus, and there was positional questions for him about where he was going to play collegiately. Neil Brown said to C.J. Donaldson, look, do you want to play this year? And C.J. Donaldson said, wow, that's a crazy question to ask. And he thought about it. He said, how about running back? And I said, yes, sir. Now in year 3, C.J. Donaldson has put together a monster first half. 1 timeout left, 34 seconds to work with, and it's first down and goal for the Mountaineers. Green to the air. Searching, roaming. Green will just get rid of it. Second down.
That's a nice rush by this defense. Dalen Dotson, he's that left defensive end for UCF, and he's just working his way, trying to get to the quarterback. But Garrett Green, his ability to extend the play and then throw it out of bounds. That's the growth of the quarterback, the 5th-year senior playing in his final home game here in Morgantown, trying to extend the play.
11th play of this drive. Donaldson can't escape Nigel Kelly. It's a loss of 3. Now it's 3rd down, and Neil Brown's got to use his final timeout.
That's a nice
West Virginia
job.
has called their 3rd and final timeout.
Watch Nigel Kelly, number 11,
30-second timeout.
the little inside swim move, just to muddy things up. I love when guys are able to just muddy it up a little bit. You know what I mean, Mike? They're not really making the play, but they're just creating something so that everybody else can get it. It was created by Nigel Leak, but it was able to have 4, 5, 6 of those nights at the end on the play.
And a sturdy defensive effort for Nigel Kelly, Dalen Dotson these last couple of snaps. And UCF as a whole has bounced back after a pair of touchdown drives the first 2 possessions for West Virginia. And now Addison Williams and his group have settled in. So 20 seconds to go. West Virginia's out of timeouts. And it's 3rd down and goal from the 12.
But you can utilize the entire field, Mike. With 20 seconds left, I'm telling my field goal team, be ready. Be ready. So that way you can utilize the whole field. If you're short of a touchdown, or the ball does not go out of bounds, field goal team, be ready to run on, but you absolutely cannot take a sack in this situation.
They empty it out. Four-man rush. Green quickly for Gallagher! Touchdown! What a catch by Rodney Gallagher!
It's just all about routes and combinations. Here's Gallagher here. This is a linebacker, everybody, Deshaun Pace. You tell me the matchup that you would throw to if you're the quarterback. It's Gallagher, the receiver, on Pace, the linebacker. That's an easy decision by Garrett Green. Just throw it up to the receiver who streaks right there in the back of the end zone for the touchdown.
Super talented sophomore Rodney Gallagher was playing two ways earlier this season. Here on a big third down, how about the spinorama to make this catch for 6?
Yeah, it's the spinorama, but it just caught Deshaun Pace, who's playing sort of a star player. He's a linebacker slash sort of a nickel back, but he expected Gallagher to go all the way across the formation. He doesn't. He's able to adjust his body and make a terrific one-handed catch and corral it all the way into his body. That's a nice job by Gallagher. You mentioned he was playing offense, he was playing defense, and he became just a full-time wide receiver, and he's really become a weapon the second half of this season for the West Virginia offense.
So the fourth down Campbell on 4th and 1, if you can call it that, pays off for West Virginia. The aggressiveness that they knew they could operate with, because you said you're getting the football to begin the second half anyway. You tack on 7 here, and the lead's back to 14.
Yeah, and now it's like, okay, we got a comfortable lead, only 15 seconds left on the clock, and you go in at halftime knowing you get the ball to start the second half and can really extend your lead with how you start that third quarter.
So the final 15 seconds with R.J. Harvey is now ready to get it from Michael Hayes, who will just dribble it up the middle of the field and scooped up by Evan Morris past the 35. So 10 seconds to work with for UCF. Well, Traylon Ray's got to like this. We told you about the injury. It's so heartbreaking to see last week. Traylon Ray put out this message on Twitter this week. I appreciate all the messages I've been receiving from everyone. Surgery went great. I'm going to make a full recovery. Sometimes you might not fully understand God's plan, but you got to trust it.
Much love to the Mountaineer Nation. I'll be back better than ever. Go Nears, the Mountaineers, man, outstanding. We saw that last week, and you knew it was going to be a tough recovery for him, but you just hope all for the best, and he'll be back.
Johnny Richardson got the carry up the middle, ran into Sean Martin, and that will send us to halftime at Milan Puskar Stadium. 21-7 is the West Virginia lead, and they've got the football coming their way as well. After the break, it's the halftime report with Kevin and Trevor. This is the Big 12 Conference on ESPN on a cold November Saturday evening in Morgantown, West Virginia. The Mountaineers have the lead on the Knights, 21-7 as we welcome you back. Kurt Morrison, Mike Monaco, we both got the memo apparently.
Yes.
Don Davenport is with us as well. And West Virginia came out and put together a great first quarter, and they lead by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's the matching jackets like us, and it's the matching offense and their defense today so far. West Virginia has been able to do a lot because of their quarterback play. You come out on senior day, you want to dress to impress, but more importantly, you want to play well. And Garrett Green is doing a little bit of everything. Just finding ways, improvising, extending plays, Mike. But when it was time for him to put it on his back, he did that. An outstanding throw on a third down to keep the drive going, and took a shot on that play. But being able to find his open guys and an unbelievable throw in the back of the end zone. This is how you do it on senior day. You'll remember this moment. And right now, Garrett Green had an amazing first half.
Our player check-in presented by Allstate for Garrett Green. And his team's got the football to begin the second half. And Preston Fox swung out of bounds right around the 45. Let's check in with Don.
Well, guys, both coaches talked about how big this possession right is right here is for their teams. Head coach Gus Malzahn for UCF said they've got to get a stop here. Their focus was third down defense. They have to be better on that side of the ball. Now for Neil Brown, he was pretty happy with both sides of the ball. Said they got in their own way for 2 drives in the first half on offense. They have to make sure that does not happen here so that they can stack offensive performances. Defensively, he said, we got to stop 7, and that kid's just special.
He sure is, Don. And so was West Virginia's offense. Cole Taylor ripped it away from X-Ray Alexander. A near interception sets up second down and short.
Yeah, actually, he caught it twice, Mike. Cole Taylor did. The concentration, you mentioned X-Ray Taylor ball in the air, but Taylor able to take it away.
You heard Gus Malzahn say to Don that the third down defense has to be better. UCF reiterated that to us yesterday coming out of the bye week, that was the next step. They felt like the guys were playing hard for Addison Williams, but they had to get off the field on third downs. They'll set up a third down with a big TFL. Ricky Barber blows up Jaheim White, and you said he's got to be disruptive.
I mean, I had a coach used to always say, you're a prisoner till the ball sets you free. And watch this play. Ricky Barber, that ball snapped, and he went north, and north was right into the ball carrier, Donaldson, for the stop.
6th-year senior, a 5th-year starter. Addison Williams said this guy's got to be dominant, and Ricky Barber sets up third down and 6.
Yeah, it's a big play on second down because now it makes that third down a little bit harder, Mike. So now where do they go from here? Remember, this is a play sheet that went from about 100 calls to now 50 calls for Addison Williams in this defense.
4-man rush. Green, deep shot, downfield, incomplete. Intended for Justin Robinson, and a late flag comes in. Chasen Johnson, the true freshman, was in coverage, stride for stride with Robinson.
So this flag came from the official who was behind the play. The official who was in front of the play did not throw a flag, so it was the official who was trailing the play through this flag, Mike.
Pass interference, defense number 27, 15-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot, automatic first down.
And I see why.
The left hand on the shoulder?
It's the left hand on the shoulder by Chasen Johnson, and it's the trailing official. See, that there's a hold on that jersey. The trailing official saw that. That was not in the sight of the official who was ahead of the play. So that's a nice job of both officials working together, who saw it one way, but the official trailing saw that hand right there on the back of Robinson. There's where the penalty came in.
I don't know if Gus Malzahn had that same angle. True freshman, we said Chasen Johnson, who hardly played to start the season. Jaheim White spins out of a tackle. Jaheim White inside the 5. Sheldon Arnold ran him down after 35.
And what a play. What a play. The spin move. Quadric Bullard tackled air. Number 10, watch the safety on the left side of the screen. Number 10, he's going to tackle air because there's just nobody there. Jaheim White hitting that. Is it the B button now, Mike?
Give me the B button.
Yeah, I think it's the B button. And Garrett Green taking a shot right there by Nigel Lee Kelly. Kelly thought he had Green in the backfield. Green had already handed the ball off, and White with an outstanding run hitting with the B button, the spin button, right inside the 5.
And now Donaldson comes in, gets the carry, and C.J. Donaldson reaches out, and they're going to mark him short. Inside the 1 with Matt Alexander, the defensive tackle, in on the stop.
You talk about a drive, right? You start the second half and you want to kind of impose your will. You're up 14 already. This could make you go up 21 and make this a really uphill battle for UCF.
Since 2015, West Virginia is 26-1 when they're up by at least 14 at halftime. Now trying to make it, as you said, a 3-score game. Donaldson again plunges in. Touchdown, West Virginia. Smash mouth stuff from the Mountaineers.
It's like they go right back to the well. It's the offensive line being able to block up front. Some of those names, we talk about Big Nick Malone. He's one of those seniors. Jaquay Hubbard, he's one of those seniors. Milam, another one of those seniors. These guys working in unison on that last play, worked to perfection.
Second time this season, C.J. Donaldson has run for 2 scores, and the lead is 21.
Now I want you to watch Thomas Remet. Here's your guard. Watch the block that he gets coming down. And C.J. Donaldson realizes it and knows it right behind him. In for the touchdown.
The next up on the F1 schedule, Vegas, second annual Las Vegas Grand Prix tonight under the lights on the Strip. 1 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, pre-race coverage at 11:30 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and Deportes. With only 3 races left this season, Max Verstappen had that
Central
stunning
Florida,
drive in
number
the
19
rain
is reporting as number
in Brazil.
97 on this play.
Now we know jersey numbers and all the above. 3 minutes into the second half in Morgantown, and you saw R.J. Harvey. It is go time for UCF, trailing by 21 on the road. Got to win today and next week as well to get bowl eligible. West Virginia 1 win away from bowl eligibility itself. And this is R.J. Harvey up the middle of the field with a spin shy of the 20. He was excellent, like normal, in the first half.
Yeah, to me, he's always been the one-man wrecking crew when it comes to the offense. He can do a little bit of everything, but on his back, just watching him throughout the first half, everyone knows that number 7 is going to get the ball, and yet it's so hard to bring him down. The ability to stay on his feet, the balance, the acceleration. How many different ways can you hand him the football in this second half? Because you cannot abandon the running game even though you're down 3 scores. So I would see him maybe being more of a receiver in this second half, Mike.
It's a handoff to start for him right up the middle. And R.J. Harvey goes to the 25 with a 5-yard pickup. What do you need to see, flip side, from Dylan Risk at quarterback for UCF?
Well, they have to continue to win first and second down, though. If they win first and second down, I think it will give Risk a better opportunity on those third downs, third and shorts. We haven't seen him able to utilize his legs when the play's not there because they played a lot of man coverage for Dylan Risk, and he has had an inability to find the open guy.
Harvey again. Well defended by West Virginia, just a couple of yards. Anthony Wilson, the leading tackler, in on the stop.
Okay, so they won first and second down. Okay, they've got more than 7 yards on first and second down. Now here you get to a 3rd and 3. This is where you have to have your quarterback make the right decision. He's probably going to see pressure. If the pressure's not there, finding a way to get the first down with his legs.
The redshirt freshman, Dylan Risk, spits it out. It's Harvey, as you said, as a pass catcher as well. First down, UCF.
That's your best player, Mike. Get him the ball by any means necessary. You can hand it to him, or you can also throw it to him, showing off the bag of tricks that he's got. This time as the receiver, Mike. You know what the difference between a 5-yard run and a 5-yard catch is? It's nothing. It's still 5 yards. Yeah. It's the same thing. Just getting the ball a different way for R.J. Harvey.
And Tim Harris drawing things up. Jakari Brown checks in at quarterback, replacing Dylan Risk. Brown was thinking about the reverse. Instead, he kept it, and he is dropped for a loss of 2.
So when Jakari Brown comes in, I'm telling you, Mike, as a former linebacker, you have calls defensively. If Brown comes in, you're going to sell out your defense to go to 11. Everybody's keying in on number 11, and you saw it. How many Mountaineers were around the quarterback? So that may be a built-in pre-call for West Virginia's defense when Jakari Brown comes in, because they were all over that last play.
Yeah, the book on him is certainly run. And now Risk, who again supplies more balance. And he is going to the air here. He'll check it down, and a drop by Miles Montgomery sets up 3rd and long.
Have we seen Dylan Risk push the ball down the field yet?
Hardly.
At all. Now, the one time he did throw, he got yelled at by his head coach in the first half. So we've seen no inability to throw the 10-yard, 15-yard intermediate throw, and this is what you have to do here. On 3rd and 11, a check down to Harvey's not going to be able to work. He's got to eye it down and try to get a catch by one of his receivers. Only one catch so far by a wide receiver.
They need 11. Risk to the sideline for Hudson, incomplete. Behind Hudson on the back shoulder, and Dantes Fagan was draped all over Kobe Hudson.
Yeah, but he got to stay on the red line, though, and he didn't do that. So when Kobe Hudson doesn't run the red line, and what the red line is, it's the position in between the numbers and the hash marks. Where's a quarterback actually supposed to make that throw? It's nowhere, no room to make the throw, so I would need the receiver have to create more opportunity for his quarterback to make the right throw.
And so it leads to another UCF punt with Mitch McCarthy cutting it away to Preston Fox at the 20. A score and a stop for West Virginia on Senior Day.
So a unique thing about my office here is this piece of coal. And this piece of coal is from the upper Big Branch mine, where there was a disaster back in 2010 where several West Virginians lost their lives in Raleigh County. When recruits make the decision to be a mountaineer, is touch the coal, and then we give them a let's go right here, and we take a picture.
Now there is also a bigger piece of coal from that mine that all the players touch on the way into the stadium, a way to pay their respect to those that lost their lives, guys, and to show their pride in that West Virginia work ethic, that coal miner passion, blue-collar, work-hard mentality is deeply ingrained here at West Virginia. Thanks to Coach for letting us overtake his office there.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff right there, Don, as West Virginia gets the football back. Up by 3 scores. Jaheim White for a yard, ran into Ricky Barber. And for Neil Brown, this is going as planned through 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, this is what he expected from his team all year long. It has been consistent today, where you've seen the offense make plays and running the football, Garrett Green throwing, and defensively making some stops when needed, like they did on the last series.
2-4 at home this season, trying to avoid 5 home losses in a season for the first time since 1990. Batted down by X-Ree Alexander. 3rd down.
Yeah, X-Ree Alexander has had a bigger role today, number 24. He's playing the will linebacker position. He's going to be right here. Just watch him stand up. Find the quarterback. And if you can't get to the quarterback, you got to find a way to just get the hands up.
He made the play on Garrett Green to set up 3rd down and 9. UCF really needs to stop. Tight end screen, Cole Taylor. Blown up. X-Ree Alexander's all over the place, and it's 4th down.
Is this the X-Ree Alexander drive? He's been all over the place. He had the bat down on 2nd, and then 3rd down on the right side of your screen, 24. Sees it, beats the block of the offensive lineman, and goes tackle Cole Taylor. That's a big drive for X-Ree Alexander, making some plays. Remember, he's starting at the linebacker spot because Deshaun Pace is playing more of a star nickel role with the injury to Braden Marshall. So you're seeing him playing, stepping up in place of Pace at that will linebacker.
That was the 8th TFL for UCF. Low line drive from Ollie Strauss, handled by Mac McWilliams. Got a block, and Straw trying to bring him down. There is a flag. It's an illegal block. There's 3 markers down on the block that set up the return. Looked like maybe Quentin Johnson with that block.
Yeah, it's the block right there, and I think he's trying to get in front of him, but it clearly is, I think, the crackback block. And you got 2 flags on it, so both officials see that particular block. It's hard when you're got the returner coming your way, but you've got to find a way to put your body in place. He led with the helmet as well, so this also could be for targeting.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block, number 49 of the receiving team. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. 1st down, timeout.
Yeah, so it's on Quentin Johnson, and it'll back up UCF.
Tunner, his 2nd touchdown of the day at the end, striking the Heisman pose again, 23-21. Right now, Kansas over Colorado.
And here in Morgantown, R.J. Harvey and UCF down by 21, but Harvey picks up 11 more to move the chains for UCF.
But I think we want to see more of Dylan Risk. I mentioned it before, only one reception by a wide receiver. The other receptions have been by a tight end. Running backs need to see Dylan Risk put the ball down the field.
He's going to the air here. He'll check it down with the easy access to Jared Baker with running room out toward midfield. Yeah, so Dylan Risk, again, this guy was the 4th string quarterback. Didn't really show well in the fall. He told us he was kind of confused where he was on the depth chart. He's got to have a big second half.
Yeah, he's had a good week of practice as well. Remember, they had an open date, so the bye week was helpful for Dylan Risk, who had 2 starts before that. Now they feel like to this week, he's shown a little bit better, but he's got to get the ball down the field.
Led them to a win against Arizona and then a close loss at Arizona State. Miles Montgomery up the middle toward the 50. And Dylan Risk has his whole family here today. They've come from Florida to West Virginia. He's one of 3 brothers. The oldest brother, RJ, played at Florida Atlantic. Then Ryan, the middle brother, he walked on at Miami, and he taught Dylan everything he knows about playing quarterback.
Yeah, it's funny to hear his story and to kind of hear him talk how he leaned on family. He's the quarterback going into a quarterback competition in the offseason, and then 3 new quarterbacks enter the chat. That's very difficult for a young guy who just comes off of a redshirt year.
Montgomery up the middle, first down. Yeah, so his brothers are 8 and 5 years older than him, respectively. And so when middle brother Ryan was at Miami, Dylan was tagging along and learning all kinds of things. He told us the first time he ever watched film was on his brother's iPad in Coral Gables, and he thought it was about the coolest thing ever to be watching the Canes practice.
Yeah, watching the Miami Hurricanes practice and seeing just how they do things, it definitely has helped him on this journey in college football so far.
UCF's got it at the plus 45. Risk with a pump, a deep shot, downfield. Hudson's got it! Touchdown Knights! 45 yards and a shot of adrenaline for UCF.
So many elements to this play, Mike. You said it was a pump fake. It was honestly just Dylan Risk. This is Kobe Hudson. He's going to run this the go route. But Dylan Risk is just trying to move out of the way. He's actually just trying to hold the ball. It wasn't really a pump. He's just trying to get out of the way of the defender and throws his best football of the night.
You said he's got to take deep shots. And Dylan Risk connects on the go ball to Kobe Hudson. Signs of a life from UCF, now down 14.
Oh, man, what a throw. What a throw. Big-time throw. He's been waiting all game long. It really started with the protection that you had one leaky defender who came up, and Dylan Risk was just trying to avoid that defender, and it almost looked like a pump fake, but able to regain his composure and throw a beautiful ball for a touchdown.
Dylan Risk has been around big-time players through his brothers, who you saw, by being in South Florida as well. He was telling us last night, one time he trained with Geno Smith. Said he didn't even realize for about 5 minutes that it was Geno Smith.
Geno Smith, the former West Virginia Mountaineer, now current quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, who actually led the Seahawks to a come-from-behind win over the 49ers last week. But that's pretty good company when you see a NFL caliber quarterback and to be able to train with one.
Here's the tight end, Evan Morris, who doubles as the kickoff man, ready to get it away to Preston Fox. Not returnable. Fair catch signal. Hey, coming up tonight on ABC at 7:30 Eastern, about an hour and a half away from number 7 Alabama, taking on Oklahoma. Jalen Milroe has been special. Man, he's fun to watch with his legs.
Yeah, spectacular. And this, they got to win out. Alabama has to win out to keep their name right now in that college football expanded playoff. 15 passing touchdowns, 17 rushing touchdowns for Jalen Milroe. He does a little bit of everything for the Alabama Crimson Tide, ranked number 7.
That's coming up over on ABC. All right, 2-score lead for West Virginia with the football, and the jet sweep for Rodney Gallagher. Tripped up right around the 30.
It's a nice drive starter, but Gallagher has got to keep his feet.
Yep.
Get some shoes that work. As the coaches always say, you got to turn that into the big game. And you see him puts his hands on his head because he knew he had at least another 15, 20 yards he could have gained.
Really talented guy who they have increased the touches for in the last couple of ball games. Five minutes to go in the third. C.J. Donaldson follows Traylon Davis, and Donaldson falls forward just short of the sticks. It'll set up third and inches.
They've really found a life on that left side of the offensive line. That's Nick Malone, the big senior. Jaquay Hubbard as well. They've been able to find a lot of yardage on the left side of that offensive line today.
Veteran group up front. You got Wyatt Milam over at left tackle. Top 10 offensive tackle prospect Permel Kiper. And to give up the middle is enough for a first down for C.J. Donaldson.
Mike, you mentioned Milam. How about today? His 33rd straight start. So durable. He told me he's doing more consistent recovery every week this year. Cold tub twice a day, Normatec boots, the light bed every day to help his body recover. A true pro already, and someone's going to be lucky to have him playing for them on Sundays.
Yeah, you're certainly right. 6'6", 317 pounds. Milam is one of those guys that you're going to see playing on Sundays. He's got the length. And you see him right there on Mel Kiper's big board.
He's helped set up first down and 10 for the Mountaineers. Designed quarterback run, Garrett Green hopping through the middle. A first down, tripped up by Sheldon Arnold after 15 yards.
It's just tremendous blocking. I talked about it. Tomas Remak, that left guard, he comes around, boom, gets a nice little seal, and right through that block, you see is Garrett Green.
Remak, the redshirt junior, 6'6", who last year was honorable mention Big 12. And Garrett Green, C.J. Donaldson, and Jaheim White are just leaning on the big guys up front.
Yeah, you're right. They're not even throwing the ball much down the field. It's been all short stuff, but handing off, whether it's Gallagher, Jaheim White, C.J. Donaldson, Garrett Green, that's been the game plan, is try to keep this game up front on the line of scrimmage.
Green faked the pitch and carries for a couple. Neil Brown is content to soak time here and lean on the ground game and kind of dare UCF to get a stop against the rushing attack.
Correct. And it's when you're getting 3-4 yards a pop, I mean, I keep the ball back on the ground. You're going to take your shots when they're there. Now, they had the opportunity earlier. Justin Robinson, remember, he got the pass interference call. So just know that's in their bag as well. That's the element to where if you keep putting 8-9 men on the box, you want that one-on-one coverage on the outside. No safety in the middle of the field right now for UCF.
Let's see if Green attacks it. He wants Taylor down the seam. Instead finds Clement jumping for a first down. It was open. Taylor got some separation.
Yeah, exactly. We saw it. I keep talking about if they're going to play man-to-man coverage and no safety help in the middle of the field, if you're Garrett Green, you're going to take that. So you tell Cole Taylor, if you don't see a safety, you convert that and continue down the field. Probably had a bigger play instead of the one underneath to Clement.
Green looking downfield again, but he's tripped up by Mac McWilliams. Third sack for UCF, and it's key.
I told you Mac McWilliams, he's doing a little bit of everything. He's going to come from the outside, and then he's just going to make the play. Watch just a nice little play. Green never really sees him, and McWilliams just comes up and just makes an outstanding play.
UAB transfer. We've been playing a lot of corner, but like you said, moving into a nickel spot as well at times today.
Yeah, just showing off the variety. One of those fifth-year seniors as well, making some plays.
Green faked it to Gallagher. And he goes up the middle for about 2. So third down and a dozen coming up with Payson on the stop for the Knights.
You know, I talked about Addison Williams, the defensive coordinator, said they had like 100+ plays calls on defense. They condensed it to about 50 or less. And you're seeing how fast this defense is playing today. Can they find one more stop right here on third down?
Show pressure. It's on the ground. Jaheim White up the middle, and the pile pushes to the 35. 20 seconds to go in the third. You're probably in 4-down territory anyway, a little bit outside the range of Mike Hayes.
And that's what that call was. You get half of it, you get to 4th down, you get the quarter break, discuss what you're going to do on 4th down when you come back to start the 4th quarter.
With West Virginia 1 quarter away from bowl eligibility. Up by 14 and driving with the football here at home. Garrett Green and the offense back to work in the 4th next.
Coach Brown, what's the decision here?
Yeah, we're going to go for it. I mean, it's a little far on bad conditions, so we're going to go for it. And we got to make a play here on a critical 4th down.
Thank you.
Back here in Morgantown, that's what Neil Brown said they're going to do. They're going to go for it. And they actually had the field goal kicking, the kicker and the holder out there, except they come right back off to the sideline, and Hudson Clement is the guy I'm looking for. This has been their gotta-have-it player up top, the wide receiver. On 4th and 8, that's the guy for Garrett Green.
West Virginia 2 for 2 last week on 4th and 8 or longer. Green scanning, takes off, needs 8, and Garrett Green's got him. Finishing a run for a 1st down. When in doubt, 6 uses his legs.
And knowing where that 1st down marker is, he knew he was going to have to pay for it. He went through his progressions, didn't find it. And X-Ray Alexander, he just couldn't get there. He just put one arm on him, but Green the ability to get it.
Spin it out quickly. Gallagher on a screen, broke the tackle. And not much for Rodney Gallagher.
I mean, just going back to that last play, 5'11", 201, knowing where the marker is, know he's going to take a shot from Chasen Johnson, but still, the toughness, the grittiness, and West Virginia tough stuff from Garrett Green.
Don talked about the emotions for Garrett Green on his senior day. 5th-year senior from Tallahassee, who always has the emotions baked into how he plays. That was the most exultant we had seen him so far today. Day-Day Farmer in motion. Green, check down White. Not getting past X-Ray Alexander. Stood him up for a yard, and it's 3rd down.
Mike, you were talking about the emotional Garrett Green. We've seen a lot of him this season, and I'm going to tell you, this is the calmest I have seen him on the sideline. Still focused, but certainly not as vocal, not as emotional as he usually is.
Yeah, a conversation, Don, that goes back to week 1 when he came out against Penn State here, and Chad Scott said to us at the time, he just wasn't himself. So Garrett Green had conversations with the team psychologist, and he's been more him, letting that emotion come out of him. But he's been calm today. Another 3rd down for West Virginia. Pressure comes and Green runs. Nigel Kelly swarms him, and it's 4th down and manageable for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, manageable. It's almost as if you want to run the same play that you had on 4th down, but they're going to run the field goal kicking unit out there.
Is that the right move? Take the points, make it a 3-score game?
Yeah, I think you take the points. A 3-score game in the 4th quarter, that's very difficult to come back from. And you can see Neil Brown a little disappointed, but realizes, hey, opportunity to get points in this situation.
So the 6th-year senior Mike Hayes from Florence, South Carolina, who started his career at Georgia State. He's 10 for 11 this year and 3 for 3 in his last 4 games. Hayes' kick from 35 is good. So, 3-score game in the end for Neil Brown and West Virginia in the 4th.
Hey, man, I can't wait. I'm watching all games. Can't wait. And it's just I don't know who's to put in yet. It's the anxiety's building. Like, we got a couple weeks left.
West Virginia's up by 17 here in Morgantown, and a fair catch from R.J. Harvey. All right, so who's going to be in from the Big 12? BYU, Colorado, both 6-1. Let's go to Tempe, where Arizona State is up and continuing to add against BYU.
Yeah, 28-17 now is that game, and Arizona State trying to hold on, trying to put themselves in the conference championship. BYU still on the comeback right now. They've got 17 points.
And another one for Jordan Tyson, who's been excellent for Arizona State. Meantime, Dylan Risk and UCF with 12 minutes to work with, down by 17. It's the top 10 offense in the country by yardage, held in check by Jeff Kuhn's defense. Harvey bounces into a positive gain of 6. Anthony Wilson the stop.
You got to keep trying to find explosive plays now. You need plays in chunks, Mike. Trying to drive all the way down to score touchdowns or get points is not going to work now with this clock. It's not your friend anymore. It's your enemy as you click under 12 minutes to go. You got to find big plays in chunks if you're Dylan Risk.
See, they've had about half of their normal yardage so far. Harvey again gets to the outside with a flag down, lowered the shoulder, and got finished off by Garnett Hollis. Big hit from the corner for West Virginia. We'll check the penalty marker.
I think it's Amari Kite, number 78, the left tackle. Had a little hold at the point of attack for UCF.
Holding. Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty enforced in the previous spot. Second down.
That's exactly who the 6th-year senior, second-year starter since he transferred in from Alabama.
Yeah, but it's a hard block for him. And the reason why it's hard, because watch R.J. Harvey throughout the play. He's standing, or he's running right on the back of Kite. And not knowing where Harvey, that ball's supposed to hit on the inside. Harvey goes to the outside. So it's a difficult block for the offensive tackle trying to figure out where Harvey's going to run it. And finish on that play, too. Harvey a little shaken up.
He dished out plenty and then took some as well from Garnett Hollis. UCF backed up to the 21, and Miles Montgomery trying to escape Trey Lathan. And Miles Montgomery gets it all back. Boy, you see flashes of this in his runs. He's pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, but I think they want to see some consistency with Miles Montgomery. R.J. Harvey gives it to you every single play, but Montgomery, remember the mishandle earlier with the football? They just want to see him continuing to have these types of plays consistently without the mistakes.
Cincinnati transfer was banged up earlier this year. Just a yard. Well, UCF has had a big comeback this year. You go back to week 3, they rallied from 21 down in the 3rd quarter, a game they didn't lead until there were 36 seconds remaining. But the clock's ticking here inside of 11 to go as Montgomery hobbles off. We told you the stakes for UCF. Had to win today, and then next week as well against Utah on Black Friday to get bowl eligible. Risk on a slant, Jacoby Jones. First down to the 5th-year senior, the Ohio transfer who's been a monster the last 4 games.
Yeah, well, he's been the go-to guy for Dylan Risk. You would think it'd be Kobe Hudson, but I think the attention that Hudson has had throughout this season has really opened the door for Jacoby Jones and Dylan Risk. Their chemistry has been great the last couple games.
Risk spins away, throwing Jones' direction again, but just gets rid of it for 2nd down.
I think that was just a throwaway there. That was one in which sometimes you have half-field reads as a young quarterback. And if your first 2 reads on that half-field are taken away, just throw the ball away, get to the next down. And that's some of the growth that you're learning in your 3rd start for Dylan Risk.
On 2nd down, Risk, a little bit of an issue again at the mesh point on the read, like that fumble with Montgomery in the 1st half.
Yeah, he's trying to pull it, and he's kind of unsure. And a lot of times it's because of the defensive end. That time, number 47, Ty French, does a good job of attacking R.J. Harvey, where Dylan Risk should have pulled it and took off. But the indecision by Risk forces the indecision of throw it, pass it, and then it results in a negative play.
3rd down and 10, and what does Tim Harris cook up?
He's got one-on-one up top.
Out of an empty look. Risk. Deep shot for Pittman downfield. Incomplete. Wilson had the coverage on Randy Pittman at the goal line.
I think Pittman wants his flag, but that's an underthrown ball from Risk. He had the right opportunity. I mentioned up top they had one-on-one. They end up dropping into the zone. Pittman had a step or two. If that ball's out front, you maybe give him a better opportunity to go make the catch. But the ball's underthrown and couldn't get back and adjust enough was Randy Pittman.
Got to go for it here and need 10 from midfield. Risk searching. Takes off. Wrapped up by Josiah Trotter. It's a turnover on downs. And the hammer from Josiah Trotter. Just like Pops. You asked him earlier this year, when are you going to break out that celly like your dad did? Here's your answer.
He busted out the right time when you needed Jeremiah Trotter, making it a silent night for the Knights.
ESPN College Football is brought to you by McDonald's.
It's hard to roll it up with it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The pepperoni rolls of West Virginia. I mean, basically synonymous here. And our great crew supplied us with some of our own. And we're going to make like that and just chow down.
You ready?
You ready? Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Don, cheers to you as well.
Oh, yeah. I needed that. Thank you. It's pretty good.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Came at the right time, though. That's what I'm saying. Perfect. I like this.
It's warm. How'd you guys get it warm for us? This is amazing.
Definitely the food service truck came and just dropped it off. This is great.
That is really good. It's a handoff up the middle to Jaheim White. Yeah, the most popular food, I would say, West Virginia's known for, official state food. And look at that. Check it out, Kirk.
I'm still eating right now,
Okay,
Mike.
yeah, cool.
He's busy.
This is a play-by-play broadcaster's dream. Kirk being quiet right now.
I'm going to tell you, I was a little worried when I first smelled it. I thought maybe it would be a little strong for me, but it's really good.
Yeah, I got a snack for after the game. So back to my regularly scheduled duties of this football game, but that was amazing.
Kirk, I'm kidding, by the way. Don't ever leave me hanging. Garrett Green's on the run on second down, and he's just got to get rid of it. Pressure came from Quadric Bullard. Third down with 8 minutes to go. West Virginia up by 17. UCF trying to get the football back.
Yeah, Bullard and Dotson have been all over the quarterback throughout this game. There's the extra pressure there of getting Garrett Green off the spot. That's when he's not at his best. His best is when the blocking is there, the protections, when he's able to step in his throw. And some of those plays where you're able to disrupt the timing has been the pressure from UCF.
UCF, again, stressed to Don at halftime. The need to improve defensively on third downs. Can they get a stop here after their turnover on downs? Jaheim White left side, and he is submarined by Sheldon Arnold. Just 2 yards, and it's 4th down and 6.
Decision time.
I think punt.
I think up 3 scores. I think go for it. But on this side of the 50, I think you have to punt. Up 3 scores, you feel pretty comfortable about punting the football. I think had they been across the 50-yard line, I think you have the decision, do you go for it or not? But on your side of the 50, you got to punt.
It's been feast or famine for West Virginia's offense. 5 scoring drives, 4 of those touchdowns, and now a 4th 3-and-out with Mac McWilliams ready to get it from Ollie Straw. Trying to bounce back from last week against Baylor. Lofts this one inside the 10, and it takes a gorgeous hop. Like a perfect 60-degree wedge from Ollie Straw. Now we've got extracurriculars and a flag down back at the 37. Ollie Straw and Ben Cutter got mixed up with a couple of Knights. And we'll have to check the marker with Steve Barron.
Great punt. You get the extracurricular. Make sure you go fix your divots after that nice little
After the
drop.
play, personal foul, number 41 of the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced in the dead ball spot. It'll be 1st down, Central Florida. Timeout.
How often do you see the punter land one inside the 5 and then get flagged for a personal foul.
Fix your divots. Fix your divots, people.
Like a Morrison wedge. And like Don Diesel.
Don!
Let's go, Don! UCF is in danger of missing a bowl game for the first time since 2015. That was the final year of George O'Leary before Scott Frost's arrival. And West Virginia, with a win over these last 7 minutes and 8 seconds, would get bowl eligible. Dylan Risk fires to the sideline. He's got to complete to Kobe Hudson. Dances out of bounds at the 40. So inside of 7 minutes to go, with UCF down by 17. It's a give, and it is Harvey stacked up by Trey Lathan after just a couple yards.
Yeah, a little bit of Lathan and Trotter on that one. The two linebackers coming downhill, and this is one of those second and long situations, Mike, that they got to push the ball down the field.
Risk zips it, and a drop by Kobe Hudson. They were pushing it down the field, but a drop from the key fifth-year senior.
That's a key drop. Had it in his hands, and I think he just lost concentration. The focus just wasn't there. I think coach tried to get back in the game. Hey, let it go. Got to move on to the next play.
And now you got to pick up 8 on 3rd down. Pressure comes. Risk stands in, spins away. Got to complete to Pittman. Randy Pittman comes back to the ball and picks up a 1st down.
Yeah, you can tell a guy who's practiced this move a lot. That's Dylan Risk. It's that reverse pivot in the pocket to buy time and get it down the field. He's done that a couple times today, Mike. He's thrown it away, but this time he finds Pittman on the sideline for a 1st down.
Super confident redshirt freshman in his 3rd collegiate start. Risk up the sideline toward Pittman. Hudson in the vicinity as well, and who's got it? Pittman made the catch for a 1st down.
Wow, you got 2 guys in the vicinity. We didn't know who was going to catch the football, Mike. It was a jump ball for Pittman and Hudson, and Pittman's the one that brings it down, number 5, the tight end.
Heck of a catch, and now on the edge, it's R.J. Harvey for a 1st down. Ushered out of bounds at the 10, and UCF's in the red zone after 14 more.
Yeah, back come the Knights, right back on the prowl. Remember, this is still outside of 5 minutes, so the clock still runs even though you get out of bounds.
A pitch to Harvey with space. R.J. Harvey is in for a touchdown. UCF, in the blink of an eye, storms down the field, and Harvey scores.
That's just will and want to. The water hasn't run dry yet for UCF as they get all the way down and hand it to R.J. Harvey and let him do the rest.
Harvey has run it for 130 yards and now 2 touchdowns.
They're just reviewing, make sure from replay.
Brad Van Vark is our replay official. And Grant Reddick waiting on the extra point.
I thought I saw him get in.
That's
they confirm it. Yeah, they confirm it.
So, with 5:20 to go, R.J. Harvey and UCF have trimmed the margin. It's down to a 10-point game in the 4th quarter here in Morgantown.
Just R.J. Harvey, the will and the want to. All the blue shirts look a little tired, but Harvey still going, showing off the conditioning. Look at, he's been everything for the Knights tonight. In the 4th quarter, he's just been unbelievable, Mike.
You know, we talked about his draft outlook. I was talking with Matt Miller, who does such a great job covering the draft and prospects for us here at ESPN. He said, I think conservatively, you would say early day 3, because as much as he loves R.J. Harvey, it's also a really deep running back class.
Yeah, it is. Ashton Genty, we think probably is one of those at the top. Quinshawn Junkins. You got a lot of running backs who are going to be in that. Ollie Gordon, who we've seen earlier this year as well in that category. And remember this past season, Mike, in the NFL draft, the first running back wasn't taken until the second round, which was Jonathan Brooks from the University of Texas. So with a deep draft of running backs, you may see some good backs, such as R.J. Harvey, go to day 2 and day 3.
You think this kick's going deep or onside?
I would say I would kick it deep with 3 timeouts left. Not yet will I go with the onside.
Grant Reddick dribbles it onside. Will it go 10? And it's very close, but it doesn't look like it. Does not look like it went the full 10 yards. West Virginia comes up with it anyway, and the Mountaineers have the football.
Yeah, I just didn't like the kick. Honestly, I didn't like the decision, I should say. I think you kicked that ball deep, Mike. Still a lot of time left. 5:20 to go. You've got all 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. You're asking your defense to give me one last opportunity. Make one more stop that we can go down and score. Then you go with an onside kick. Just didn't like that play right there. Now it gives West Virginia an opportunity to at least get a field goal to really make this a 2-touchdown game and not a touchdown field goal game.
Play clock had to be reset. They do it for West Virginia, starting in plus territory at the 49. C.J. Donaldson. You know, it's an interesting kick as well. You mentioned the choice, but then you dribble it to about 8, 9 yards, and West Virginia chose to go dive for it. And boy, if you muff that, then
Correct.
It gets real dicey.
Yeah, that would have been scary for West Virginia had someone just went after the ball, and it has to go 10 yards. So you wait for it, and you hopefully just jump on it. If it's right there for you, jump on it, move on.
So now inside of 5 minutes to go for the Mountaineers. Up by 10, trying to finish things off here at home.
And they're in no hurry at all.
Milking the play clock, and Garrett Green keeps straight up the middle to the 40. 3rd down. So Neil Brown and his team trying to grab a 6th win, trying to get bowl eligible, trying to get their 5th conference win. Dalen Dotson hobbles off and was granted an official's timeout. And now they roll the clock. So West Virginia content to soak off even more time. And Neil Brown and the Mountaineers trying to get to the finish line.
Yeah, that's why it's a big 3rd down coming up here. If you stop them, then you feel like, okay, we've got the opportunity. Neil Brown may even go for it on 4th down. No, that's how crucial this 3rd down is. If they get half of it, Neil Brown's going to go for it on 4th down.
They're only 1 for 5 on 3rd downs in the 2nd half today. Donaldson, right side, and Donaldson is short. So we'll see if Neil Brown does do that. They're going to have 4th down and 3.
I would go for a timeout UCF though first. You can't let that clock bleed anymore. You get 40 seconds off of that clock.
Well, elsewhere in the Big 12, in Lawrence, Kansas, Kansas is hot. They've won 3 of their last 4, and Devin Neal continues to add to what has been a huge day, and now the lead is 37-21 Jayhawks on the Buffs.
I mean, you go down and Don Davenport, we had this discussion during the break. I mean, who's the hottest team right now currently in the Big 12? I would say Arizona State. And Don, who did you say?
Kansas actually mentioned Baylor too.
Yeah, and Baylor too. Yeah, we saw Baylor last week versus West Virginia. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They can go to 5 in a row. Kansas is playing well. I just love some of these coaches though. Lance Leipold, I love Dave Aranda, teams that got off to bad starts, but man, they're finishing strong.
This was entering today. Best chances to reach the Big 12 championship game, with Colorado controlling its fate to get to the college football playoff. All right, so offense is out there on 4th down. West Virginia is 2 for 2 on 4th downs in this game.
Not surprised that they're going for it here on 4th. The delayed handoff.
It's a slant, and it's Justin Robinson. He makes the play he didn't come up with last week, and it's a 1st down for the Mountaineers.
And just what a play. And they get away with a little bit of an offensive pass interference, but hey, if they don't call it, just watch here. So you're going to have him go here, this guy go here, and then watch Justin Robinson right behind and watch where the throw is delivered at. You get the 2 receivers out front, just kind of give you a little shield, and then there goes Justin Robinson right here. It's not a pass interference. They weren't out blocking, but they did give them cover to allow Robinson for the catch.
Yeah, pass was beyond the line of scrimmage, so it could have been ruled a pick there on Cole Taylor, but was not. And it's a 1st down for West Virginia, and the clock soaks all the way down inside of 3 minutes. And now a fumble on the snap. And the exchange with Donaldson, but West Virginia falls on it, and Green recovered. UCF takes a timeout as well, and that was danger.
Yeah, that could have been disastrous. Just watch it. It was just a low snap. Garrett Green never had a full handle on the football, and as Donaldson was coming in for the read on that read option play, his knee almost hit the ball as well. Luckily, Garrett Green able to recover it, but it really started with the bad snap. Green has to secure that snap first, and this has been an issue for West Virginia throughout the season.
Yeah, for Brandon Yates, who you just saw, a guy who had kind of cleaned it up the last 2 games coming in today with his snapping, but went so far as to work with the team's sports psychologist to try to get past some of the issues with his snapping, and that one nearly cost the Mountaineers.
Well, could the snap have been better? Yes, but I also put it on the quarterback to secure that snap and before he goes into making his read on the play.
So Green saved that one. Now you got 2:43 to go. UCF is down to just 1 timeout. West Virginia is trying to put this on ice. Gus Malzahn sensing time ticking away. Again, this is a program that has been to a bowl game every year going back to their last time missing out in 2015 before Scott Frost even took over in Orlando. Green's rolling and throwing downfield. Clement incomplete. Chasing Johnson in coverage. So now it's 3rd down, and I think Gus Malzahn was probably expecting West Virginia to keep that on the ground.
Yeah, I was expecting them to keep it on the ground. And that ball was just poorly underthrown. I thought you would maybe go with something more conservative. If you were going to throw it, at least have the run pass option that if it's not there, Green can take off but keep the clock moving. Now the clock stops. It's almost like you gave UCF a timeout. I would have loved to see something that a little more run pass oriented, where if it's not there, take off or at least slide and keep the chains moving, or keep the clock moving.
Right at the edge of field goal range already. Green keeps it on the ground, straight up the middle. Got popped by Exree Alexander. And he gets 4. 4th down coming up. And a timeout taken by Gus Malzahn, his last one, with 2:31 left.
Yeah, I'm just scratching my head at the play before. That's a 2nd down play that if you run, you force UCF to call their last timeout, then your next play goes down to the 2-minute timeout. So you would give them less time, but now you've got a 4th down opportunity here. I still don't know if UCF has enough firepower to come back from this lead with this amount of time left, but definitely could have been a better clock management there, I think, from Neil Brown in that position at that time on the field.
Let me ask you this with UCF. Sure. What comes next? Because they've had dysfunction this season. They're the only team in the country that has started 4 quarterbacks. Play caller's been changing. They had 7 players hit the portal mid-season.
Yeah.
What do you see as what's next? And I think a big part of that is, do you think the quarterback of the future is on the roster right now?
Well, there's a lot of questions that if I'm a recruit for UCF, I would want to have answered. My questions would be, who are my coordinators? Defensively, offensively, who's calling the plays, who is going to help me develop as a player? I don't know if they have their starting quarterback on the roster. You know, E.J. Colson comes in, plays 13 plays, and basically redshirts. K.J. Jefferson will be gone. Dylan Risk has his name firmly next year. So it's just questions for Neil Brown calls a timeout.
With the play clock winding down on the West Virginia, he burns his
West
first.
Virginia has called their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Mike and Kirk, I want to point out, too, that early signing period's less than 2 weeks away.
Yes.
December 4th, and then the transfer portal opens December 9th. So the 9th through the 28th, 20 days of the portal as well. So you got to have those decisions on coordinators and coaches and all of that made.
Yeah, a lot of it does surround this season KJ Jefferson. I mean, sixth-year senior, you bring him in from the SEC. He hasn't even played since week 6, October 5th at Florida. We asked Gus Malzahn about it last night, and he said, look, we were just honest. It just wasn't working. He said, KJ knew it, our team knew it. Everyone around KJ Jefferson talks about how classy he is. He's taken over a leadership role with this group. But Gus Malzahn said it to us yesterday. If you take a quarterback in the portal, you need to be right in this day and age of college football.
Yeah, you have to be right. But I think you also want to have competition, and it's a healthy competition. And that's something that will be talked about for the rest of this season and in the offseason for UCF.
So after a pair of timeouts, now it is 4th down and 9 for West Virginia. Garrett Green slings it, and Clement makes the catch to convert on 4th down and take it inside the 10.
He's been Mr. Gotta Have It. And the all gotta have it moments, you gotta find Hudson Clement. He is always going to be right here. He just runs this route and watch the hookup. It's called a hookup route. Just go all the way down, turn around, and just wait for your quarterback to find you. That's what he does. That's an outstanding job by Clement on the route, but more importantly, Garrett Green having the faith that he's going to have the open window to throw it, and Clement makes it.
Hudson Clement is nodding. He's been the big play guy. Nobody else has more than 3 targets, and Clement's got 10. 5 for 81, and the big 4th down pickup again for the Mountaineers. Up on Sam Levitt, whose father played at BYU, but was not recruited himself by BYU.
Yeah, Cougars down 5 with 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in driving.
And here in Morgantown, meanwhile, West Virginia putting the finishing touches on this one. Last 2 minutes up by 10, and UCF cannot stop the clock out of the 2-minute timeout. So you see smiles from the 5th-year senior Garrett Green. Tallahassee kid who ended up here in Morgantown, redshirted as a freshman. 2021, he sat behind Jared Dagey. 22, sat behind JT Daniels. And his quarterback the Mountaineers these last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's come to the end of the road in his career here at West Virginia. His last home game, Mike, in front of this home crowd. You mentioned it, perseverance, sat around, waited. They brought in different quarterbacks, but he stayed the course and has been a very productive quarterback for West Virginia.
You know, we asked Neil Brown about the future of this program as well. You asked him about roster retention. Neil Brown said, look, we don't really handle that right now. He said, right now, all I'm still focused on is competing season. And he said, contract negotiations, that happens after Thanksgiving.
Absolutely, but it's been a great group of guys that he's had a chance to work with. You mentioned offensive line. He wanted to make sure we gave love to his long snapper who's going to the Senior Bowl as well. So it's one of those, Austin Brinkman is long snapper, but it's so hard to say goodbye to some of those players that have really built up what it's been to be a Mountaineer here in Morgantown.
Neil Brown and West Virginia get their 6th win of the season, and they will be headed bowling in 2024. UCF will not. They fall to 4-7, and they drop this one on the road, and they are now 2-6 in the Big 12. So look, this season started with huge expectations for West Virginia. Outside the top 25 by just a bit. Marquee games early in the season, came up short in a couple of those, but still, in the end, they get bowl eligible here.
They get bowl eligible, and they got one more at Texas Tech next week to increase that win total to 7.
Don Davenport with Garrett Green.
Yes, Garrett Green on senior night. You guys are now bowl eligible. How does this one feel?
Yeah, it feels good. You know, hearing Country Roads one last time here will be pretty special, so I look forward to enjoying that with my teammates.
I think numerous times the guys on the broadcast said, wow, Garrett Green having a senior night. What keyed your success and this offense's success today?
Yeah, really all the guys up front. We were able to run the ball effectively. Wide receiver made some timely plays, which helped us out later on down the road.
Garrett, I know up and down season at times, but this team continued to fight. Now that you guys are bowl eligible, what can you say about this team and this senior class?
Yeah, no, we're a lot better than our record shows. You know, we're a few plays on a couple games, but no, we're a group of fighters, so we're going to keep fighting until they give us games.
You kept the emotions in check in this one. We talked prior to the game about your ability to do that. You ready to let him out yet?
No, I'm good right now. When I go see my mom and stuff, I'll probably let him out then.
Congratulations, Garrett.
Appreciate you.
Don, thank you. West Virginia will finish the regular season at Texas Tech next weekend. UCF finishes the regular season on Black Friday at home against Utah. West Virginia wins it 31-21 over UCF on senior day for the 21 seniors honored today. For Kirk Morrison, Don Davenport, and our entire excellent crew working hard behind the scenes, led by producer Caitlin Urka and director Ashley Ward. I'm Mike Monaco saying so long from Morgantown, West Virginia.